Hello everyone, and today we're going to be tackling a very exciting video. We're going to be getting through loads of my arcs that I have, both physical and from NetGalley on my Kindles. So the first one we're going to be tackling is Everything to the Sea by Alicia Upano. This is a arc I received from Bloomsbury. It's coming out in 2026. I actually don't know exactly what date. I will include it, but very excited to get to this one. I also want to read Under My Skin by Heather Garvin because that was sent to me as an arc from NetGalley that I still need to tick off, even though it's released ages now. I'm way too late in the game to be getting to it. I got another one called When in Dublin. Can't remember the name of the author, but again, I'll include that too. And the fourth one is Embrace by Bal Cabra, because that's one of my most anticipated reads of 2026 and I managed to get it from NetGalley. I think they're all the arcs I have at the moment on NetGalley, so I want to tackle those three and this physical one. I also have one or two more physical ones from Bloomsbury that we might get to, but that might be too much. But for the moment, we'll just tackle those four, and then if I find more or I get approved for more on NetGalley, we might get through those. So yeah, today we're tackling Everything to the Sea. It's the first one up on the chopping block. Let's see how it goes. Arc reading update, because I'm actually reading this arc for a challenge that I'm trying to read this book in the space of like one day, and I'm halfway through it at the moment. The tsunamis, we have 4 parts of a tsunami, but the book is broken up into 4 parts, and those 4 parts are the 4 stages of a tsunami. I think the setting of having a tsunami is a really interesting one. I've never read a book with this premise that like there is a tsunami that's hit. And I think I'm getting a lot of information about tsunamis that I never would have gotten otherwise. Like this, you can tell it's kind of personal to this author, that she's either done her research or it's like a lived experience of the damage and the trauma that the tsunamis can cause on like communities. But I'm loving the romance between our 2 main characters now. They're in a bit of a scuffle right now, so it's not going well, but they're in 2 very different places in their lives, and they're gone to 2 very different places, and like, I'm kind of grappling with, I agree with where he's coming from, but I also agree with where she's coming from with the decisions that they're both making, and like why each other can't understand why the other person is making the decision they're making, because in their mind the decision is easy, but it's not easy for the other person. So that's where I'm like grappling with which side I'm on, because it's very much they're both right, but they're both fighting and aren't hearing the other person, and I don't think we're ever going to come to a compromise on it either, because what he's asking of her is a lot and what she's asking of him is also a lot. So yeah, it's just a very, very emotional read so far. There's a lot of loss, a lot of grief. Definitely check up trigger warnings. But I'm halfway through. I am hoping to get it done in the next hour or 2. So I'll come back to you when I have more thoughts.
I'm trying to leave. We tried to chill away and run away. Yeah, so that's my life at the moment.
I mean, that sounds like chaos. I thought Tom Beck, she's an absolute firecracker, bit of a tornado. She obviously is sort of unhappy with the relationship, but is happy with it.
He's the most good person ever. Like, I'm happy. But I'm confused.
Great confusion. Tom will tell. What's happened now?
We've got finally about
Oh, there's one about it.
So,
I'll turn around and go. Well, I met this guy the other day. We had a great time. Love flights. Hang on a second. Oh, it's my turn now. It was like it was meant to be.
Taylor, he is a cool guy. In my opinion, Taylor doesn't compare to Danny. I love Danny. He does my head in, but I love him. And then going into this situation with another man, it makes me appreciate him more. And I hope, crossing everything, that this made Danny appreciate me too. Wait, no.
Today's been chaos so far.
He probably found me.
The boys are sprinting off, quaking in their boots. But I did notice that when it was all getting pretty intense in the ridge, she just sat there so chill next to me. It feels refreshing. Maybe she's probably not the most peaceful at the best of times.
Dude, I'm a big pipper.
I'm Chanel Brown, and I manage an education company. I am running a business in the executive role.
If you could describe, I guess, your perfect partner, what would he look like?
He needs to have a presence.
This is too much.
I'm Brady. I work in the south of Marlton. I've been engaged twice. I've been two moments where I've never been married and it never eventuated. But you all fail in life to become successful, right? It's same as sales. You're going to get 10 no's to get a yes. So
What are you attracted to? What are you looking for?
someone that's similar in energy to me. Someone that likes to go to the gym, also likes to drink every now and then. If they're a little bit more hard work, that's fine. It is what it is. So by the time lucky, let's say.
So you need the validation from someone.
I'm here now anyway. So she is met her husband now. So tell them up. You don't need to go back to him.
What are you doing?
She is met her husband now. She doesn't need to go back to him. She can go away.
James, he comes in very hot. If it was single, yeah, I'd eat that up. I'm like, yes, what seconds next?
has been complete. Managed to finish it in 4 hours yesterday. This story was so beautiful. I enjoyed how our characters handled the dice that they've been rolled. I like how they handled it differently and how neither one could understand the other and why they were making the decisions they made. And it's honestly, it's really good. There's a lot of like really nice quotes in here, and there's a lot of really like beautiful writing, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm so happy I read it and that I managed to tick a arc off the list. But the next one that we're going on to is Under My Skin by Heather Garvin. I've actually started this and I'm already 50% into it. So this follows Lucy and Everett. Everett is Lucy's brother Simon's best friend. She's come back to the small town, up living with Simon, who lives with Everett, and there's a bit of a love thing between them, I think. And I'm enjoying it so far. It's a cute, fun time, but I will let you know when I read more. I have not read much more of the arcs that I need to get through. I'm 64% through Under My Skin by Heather Garvin, and I have actually gotten like 2 or 3 more from NetGalley. So I think we're just going to tackle the NetGalley ones because I have 5 of those. I'm enjoying the dealing with grief that Everett has to deal with. He's lost a parent, but I just think the way that they're talking about grief in general is really nice and I like it. Lucy, she is dealing with a lot also, but I'm liking how he's helping her through it and like being there, but like taking a step back when he knows she needs it as well. And then there's the whole brother's best friend dynamic thrown into it, which I'm obsessed with, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm 64% in and it's going really fast, but haven't decided what the next arc will be once I finish this one, but I'm interested to see where Everett and Lucy are going to go. I have finished Under My Skin by Heather Garvin and I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it. I liked Everett and Lucy. I hope she carries on this as like a series, because there's a couple of characters that came into it that I'm like, oh, we could do more with that person or that person. So we have that. And I like the small town vibe. I like the dealing with the grief. And I thought the way grief was handled was very respectful, very nice, and also relatable. The thing I will say is, because look, it's a small town romance, it felt very predictable. I knew what like was probably going to happen before it happened, but I still enjoyed them as characters and a couple, and I enjoyed the setting. So Under My Skin is getting a 3.75 stars from me. I have 5 more arcs to get through on NetGalley. So I have Embrace by Balcabra. I'm keeping that till closer to the release date. I have When in Dublin by Tracy Avery. I have How to Find Love in the Cereal Aisle by Alyssa de Regatis. I have Just Amelia by Jennifer Oko, and I have Serial Killer Wanted by Nika Grace. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I think it's between, at the moment, like I have these already all on my Kindle. It's between Serial Killer Wanted and Just Amelia, but I'll let you know when I decide which one I'm going to read. But it's between those 2 at the moment, I think. So that's all the updates I have on the arcs. We've gotten through 2 of my 7 current arcs that I need to get through. So we're doing well. We're doing well, and we've gotten a 3.75 stars and a 4 stars. So overall, happy so far. So I'm further into this arc, and what the fuck? It's just like killers upon killers upon killers. I'm 47% through. Obviously I'm not going to go into too much, but this girl puts up an ad because she no longer wants to live, but she doesn't want to do it by her own hand because she's tried and she can't. She wants someone else to do it. So she puts up an ad on this thing called like Cheats List, but it's basically, I'm assuming it's Craigslist, but like a fictional version. And 2 people respond to her ad, and now there's something happening in tandem with both, because they both want. She's trying to convince one to kill her because she trusts him, but the other one is trying to kill. There's so many people trying to kill each other right now that I'm very confused. But I'm invested, which is great. I haven't felt like really invested in a thriller for a long time, or like actually caring about the ending for a while. So I'm so happy with this so far. But yeah, we're at the halfway mark and I'm trying to figure out who this killer is, who's gonna die, who's not gonna die. So come along with me. Finished Serial Killer Wanted last night, and it ended in a way that I was just like, really? Did we need to do that? Like, there was a romance thrown in there, and I don't know, was that me not knowing and being ignorant, or did it not say that on NetGalley? Because like, I don't think I would have ever picked up a thriller / mystery book if I knew there was any type of romance in there, or any type of like hint of it even. And it just became too convoluted, and there was way too many points of view. I felt like we needed it when the story was going a certain way, but once it stopped going that way, I was like, okay, but I'm going to go with a 2.5, I think, because yes, I did enjoy it, but then there was just too much that was like, I was like thinking back on it, and I'm like, was there a need for that then? And was there any need for that? So yeah, we finished that. But I then went on to start When in Dublin by Tracy Avery. It's another arc I got from NetGalley, and I got to 9% chapter 5 last night. So far what I'm gathering is our FMC Lucy, I want to say her name is, I could be wrong, I'll have to go back and check. She is working with this company, and they're trying to branch out into Ireland, and she is looking to get like a partner position in the place she's in because she wants to work her way up the ranks, and this trip is the perfect way to do it, by going to Ireland and helping them set up their team over there, and then be able to come back, I think it's within the year, and then come back to her high position. It's giving me Emily and Harris, but make it Dublin basically. And that's as far as I've gotten. She is currently going forward for it, to go to Ireland, and she doesn't have a passport, so she needs to get a passport, and that's as far as we are. I don't know anything else, I just know she's off to Dublin, so let's see. we have an arc update. I am about 50% into When Dublin by Tracy Avery, and there's bits I'm enjoying and there's bits I'm really, really not. This woman, as I said, is gone over to Ireland to do this job because she's hoping that she'd get a promotion down the line from it, and she ends up meeting this Irish fella, and he sweeps her off her feet, basically. And initially I was really enjoying her, like, watching someone having to adapt to the way Irish people work, like seeing culture shock in someone else for something that seems so normal to me. And then we went to the side of, like, a bit too much. There were certain sentences that were said in this book where I am, and I'm just like, there wasn't a need for that. And it felt very stereotyping of Irish people in particular. And I don't know, is this author Irish or not? Maybe she is. I'm actually going to have to look into it, because I don't know, could you write Irish people like that if you weren't? I don't know. But there's a romance happening. She is still going against this person that she's working with called Rhea. She's really annoying and is constantly doing better than her, but I'm liking the Irish setting. Like, it's nice to be in Ireland in a book, and I don't have much more to go in it, and I'm not sure where it's going to go. I'm assuming it's going to end with her staying in Ireland, but who knows. chapter 21 of When in Dublin, and I don't know am I enjoying this anymore or not. Like, I have a feeling of the direction we're going in, and if it happens that way, then I'm going to be very, very unhappy. But I'm finding our main character to be very self-deprecating and quite annoying. And I don't know if she's purposely written this way because she is kind of going through like a transformation kind of thing at the moment. Like, her life is kind of changing all around her and she is trying to be more confident and stuff, but she's coming across as really, really annoying. And then there's a romance going on, and then it all feels like it's going a bit too fast for the situation that we're currently in. But I'm like 55% in. I'm hoping that I'll finish it this evening. And the book that won on my story was How to Fall in Love in the Cereal Aisle by Alyssa DeRogatis. So that's going to be the next arc we'll read once I finish this. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I will get through the rest of this evening. Final book though that we're going to read, because I think we've done, like, we're at our 4th arc after this one, because we've read Under My Skin, Serial Killer Wanted, and now When in Dublin. I'm going to keep Embrace for another vlog. I was planning to read it for this, but I'm going to keep it for... I feel like it deserves its own vlog. I feel like I'm going to reread all of the Off the Ice series and then read that. But I think we're going to let my Instagram stories decide. I have 2 arcs. How to Find Love in the Cereal Aisle by Alyssa DeRogatis. And if you have been following me for a while, you know I was obsessed with Call It What You Want by this author. It was re-released, was it about a year or 2 ago? And I happened to read it when it was re-released through NetGalley and fell in love with it. And I just feel like everyone in their 20s should read a story like that, because, especially women, because it just really details how a lot of women feel about certain relationships with certain men. Or we have this one called Just Amelia, where Amelia gets stuck in an elevator with her 7-year-old self and her 70-year-old self. And yeah, I really don't know where we're going to go with that one. That's really interesting. And they're the 2 I think I'm going to let people choose between, and keep Embrace for something else. So 50% through When in Dublin currently, and I will come back to you when Instagram decides which arc we're going to read next. I'm still reading How to Find Love in the Cereal Aisle, and I'm really, really enjoying this, and I'm interested to see though where our main character goes with in terms of finding herself. I have an hour and 35 minutes, it says, left on my Kindle, so we'll see how that goes. This book is never ending. I have been reading the whole time. I don't know how I haven't finished this book. I still have 40 minutes left and I don't know how. officially read our last arc. I finished How to Find Love in the Serial Isle by Alyssa DeRogatis last night, and I gave it 3.75 stars. So in this video, we have managed to complete 5 arcs, 1 physical, 4 of them on my Kindle. So we will just do a quick rundown of the ones that we managed to read in this video and my ratings. And I don't want to get into too much of my thoughts on it because, as I said, these are all arcs, so not all of these have released yet, so I don't want to go too much in. So the first one was Everything to the Sea by Alicia Upano, and this releases on July 14th, and I gave this a 4 stars. Really enjoyed the setting. It's set in Hawaii and there is a natural disaster that happens, and our 2 main characters, Jane and Kenji, try to live in the aftermath after that. And it's a very beautiful story of heartbreak and turmoil and how 2 people can view the same situation so differently. It's such a beautiful story. The second one I read was Under My Skin by Heather Garvin, and this one technically was an arc, but like it released like ages ago. So in Under My Skin by Heather Garvin, we are following Lucy and Everett. Lucy comes back to her small town when things in her personal life kind of go into chaos out of nowhere, and she ends up trying to make an impulse decision to get a tattoo in her brother's best friend's tattoo shop. So then we've Everett, who's also dealing with his own stuff, but like he's always kind of had his eye on Lucy. Lucy's always had a crush on him, but it's kind of given up on it because he's never given her the time of day, but he's always been that like protective older brother kind of role because he's her best friend's brother. And while this is a fluffy romance and there is cute moments, there is definitely harder topics of like grief and loss and having like your world kind of turned upside down out of nowhere and like expecting answers and not always getting the answers that you want. The next one that we got into was Serial Killer Wanted by Mika Grace, and I really enjoyed the premise of this, the start of it. Like the momentum we were building was really interesting and really good, but then it kind of like fell off. There was a random romance thrown in there, and I felt like there was like 4 different storylines going on at once, and kind of they all tied together, but it just felt like we could have taken out maybe one of these elements and it would have made that story a bit better. And I felt like there was no need for the romance personally, and it didn't add to the story or anything. It felt like, if anything, it took away from the story for me. Giving it the 2.75 stars I feel like is generous, and the only reason I gave it that was because of how much of the reading experience I enjoyed before all these other elements came into it. The next one is When in Dublin by Tracy Avery. This follows our main character who has basically been offered this opportunity to be on track for a promotion that she really wants in her company in Tampa in America, and the only thing is it's in Dublin, so she has to go to Dublin to be in with a chance of getting this opportunity upon her return. So she ends up moving to Dublin, and it's like a story of her finding herself in the place she least expected, and like realizing that like just because you've always been at home and you've been comfortable doesn't mean that being at home is always necessarily what's right for you, and that you need to step out of your comfort zone sometimes to like grow as a person. And that I found that part of the story very compelling and very intriguing. Then though, we have our romance that's going on the other side of it that like really annoyed me. Our main character, there was no need for him, I felt, and I feel like she could have had just as an amazing experience finding herself without the romance, if that makes sense. And I felt like she was making a lot of decisions for her own life based on this man who was barely in her life. Like, he was barely there. It's not like they were in a long-term relationship of like 5 years, and she was making like big life decisions based on this. And that just was very, I just didn't enjoy that character trait in our female main character, because I wanted her to be able to stand on her own 2 feet. And yes, there is that growth, and she did that by herself, but I did not like how reliant she was on this man that just randomly came into her life. So I gave it a 2.75 stars. And then last but certainly not least is How to Find Love in the Serial Isle by Alyssa DeRogatis. Our main character, Ainsley, has pivoted from being a teacher to now being an author, and because she wrote these like really amazing love stories, she thought like writing would always come off the cuff for her. But then she goes through this big heartbreak, and all of a sudden she can't write anymore. Everyone's expecting these things of her, and her life is basically just falling apart. And decides to start this series of trying to find love and trying to create these like meet cute ways in which she can meet men. And it's not necessarily about finding men, but it's trying to write that narrative and trying to like make that narrative play out in real life so that she can write it in her story. We then have our second male character, which I didn't like the dynamic of her going between our two male main characters in my own head. Yes, there was one who was ultimately the right character for her. The main thing I didn't enjoy about this book was our main character, Cole. He makes a lot of shitty decisions, but at the same time, I feel like Ainsley doesn't make the best decisions either, because she's not as confident in herself. But once she gets that confidence in herself, it's like, I don't need no man. But it's not that I don't need no man, it's just like finding the power of being alone and finding that like it's okay to be alone and enjoying your own company, and realizing, yeah, you may be single, but you still have so much more to your life than like a man in your life or a partner in your life, a relationship of some romantic sense. And I really liked that aspect of the story, and that it showed that like she was trying to learn how to not let every heartbreak rule her life, because that does happen. You feel like when you go through a breakup, you are eating the ice cream, you're stuck in bed, you're crying, you don't want to talk to anyone, you don't want to see anyone, and I've been there, it's shit. And I felt like that's what this book was to show that like, just because your relationship ends with such a person that wasn't right for you doesn't mean you don't learn something from it or come out of something from it, from the relationship with it, and go into your next relationship with something that you've learned or taken away from it. And I always seem to find myself in Alyssa's female main characters. I feel like me and her have like similar brains, I don't know. So happy for Alyssa to get this second release, and the cover is absolutely fucking stunning. And just even the title, like there's like the play on like how to find love in the cereal aisle. It's like so mundane. It's like you don't need these big massive romantic meet cutes. It's just something as so small as like you reached over and got the same cereal as someone and you just happened to meet your soulmate through that. But I managed to get through 5 really good arcs. I'm so happy I managed to get through them. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I don't obviously want to go into too much of the stories in the arcs, because they are arcs and they are books that are not released, and I don't want to ruin them for you in case you want to read them. But let me know if you would like to see more like this, because I have gotten some more arcs from NetGalley and they're starting to build up again. So if you would like to see a part 2 to this maybe, let me know and I might do it. But I'm so happy I managed to clear some of my arcs and get my feedback score back up, because NetGalley won't send you more books if you don't read them. So I need to start getting through more. And thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.